Moose, and I'm an addict.
Hey, Moose.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's happening?
Joined today by my lovely wife, Ashlie.
Hello.
What's up, Ashlie?
Hello.
Say it with your chest, Ashlie.
Good morning. Good morning.
And the recovery Buddha himself, Kevin. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, what's up, dude? Good to be back filming another episode, just us three.
Yeah, I hear that. Same here.
Three top experts of recovery. They say, what is it? Like?
Yeah, the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
Right.
What is it? 10,000 hours makes you an expert. That's what they say.
Yeah.
So that's 5 years. So what does that make me? I'm like a doctor of recovery. Dank Recovery MD. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So since the last time, a lot of personal stuff has been happening. Kevin, you've been training for homelessness, doing like 10 hours of walking.
Right. Yeah.
This is a nomadic lifestyle.
Quit his job and just started walking 20 miles a day.
Yeah.
What? No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, man?
Oh, no, not a whole lot. Just, I don't know. I did have an offer for an old job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you turn it down?
Yeah, I'm just, it's like, if I'm hanging on to something back here, I'm reaching for something out here, and I don't think I'm going to reach what's out here unless I let go of what's back here kind of thing, So, no, I'm keeping myself busy, trying to be the best version of me that I can be, going for a lot of walks, working on a lot of spiritual stuff, hitting the gym, eating healthy, and just getting quiet and allowing things to come to me naturally.
What was the old job?
Working with people with DWI offenders.
Oh, at SATOP?
Yeah.
Substance abuse traffic offender program.
Yeah, and I could totally go do that. I could do that in my sleep, but I don't know. I'm thinking I want to maybe stretch out, try something different. I want to see what else is out there. I do have options, and I'm good. I'm good for a year if I need it. So I'm good.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
You were the one who kind of exposed that thing can be a scam, like SATOP.
Oh, I mean, yeah, not necessarily SATOP, but like DWIs. Totally. DWIs can totally be a scam. I mean, it's just like, you think about it. Yeah, we don't want people on the road drinking and driving, obviously,
Even though it's fun?
Yeah, it's
they
fun.
Don't even
it's
care.
Exciting. It's, it's like real.
Thought this was America.
Yeah, it's like Grand Theft Auto meets, spiritual enlightenment. It's like you put the two together and now you're drinking and driving. Right?
Dude, I saw a clip on Facebook. It was a guy, or the law had just passed. You couldn't have an open beer in your car. And they were like complaining on the news, like, I thought this was America. I can't open a beer and drink it on the way home.
Like from the 80s or something?
Yeah, like in the 80s.
Well, if you knock over a gas station, right?
Like drive over it?
No, knock over. Like you go rob a gas station.
Oh, okay.
They're going to put you in prison for armed robbery, and you're going to do some time for that armed robbery. And when you do your time, you're going to get out, and that's really going to be it. But when you get a DWI, they attach so many things to that DWI. Like you don't just get the DWI and go to court and get over the DWI. Now you got to go to SATOP. Then you got to go take some classes. You got to get the thing in your car, the breathalyzer thing. You got to blow in it, tickle it. You got to, talk dirty to it to get it, like, you got to hum while you're blowing this thing. I mean, they want to humiliate you. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to go to the VIP program, which is like a victim impact panel. You got to go hear from folks who've lost a loved one in a drinking and driving accident. You got to get the special kind of insurance. You can't just use your regular insurance anymore, right? You got to get the special kind of insurance for it. You got, it's like, when you get the DWI, they impound your car. And most DWIs take place on a Friday, a Saturday, maybe a holiday, something like that. Well, impound yards, a lot of times they're closed on Saturday and Sunday. They're open for intake. They can drop vehicles off, but you can't get so you got to pay at the impound yard, you got to pay per day. Right? Wow. That's how that's why they impound. They're really pounding it into you. You know what I mean? Like you get your DWI on a Friday, but you can't get your car till Monday. So now you got to pay a couple days of your car being on their lot. You have to pay with a DWI, you have to pay for the cops' time. They got a name for it. I can't think of the name for it right offhand. I kind of forgot.
Wow, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, you have to pay for the time that the cop pulled you over, from the time they pulled you over until they put the period on the last sentence of the note they had to write to be done with you. And I mean, this is through, arresting you, giving you the breathalyzer, giving you the field sobriety, bringing you to jail, keeping you in jail, whatever. And then they got to write the note. You got to pay for the cop's time, his wage.
Is that just for the DWI, or is that
just for the DWI? Yeah, I mean it's a fee they attach to DWI offenders. I don't know if it does that with other offenses or not. But see, the DWI, it's kind of who gets DWIs? Drunk people. But what do they have? Well, they have a car. A lot of them probably have a job. They probably have insurance.
They probably have a good time.
They have a good time, right? But they're drinking and driving. The people who get DWIs typically are working class people. That's typically who ends up getting most DWIs. These are people who need their car for their livelihood. They know these are the people with the money. I mean, who holds your license?
State?
Do you know who holds it?
Department of Revenue.
Why Department of Revenue?
In Missouri, at least. I don't know who it does in
Doesn't
other
that
states.
sound odd to you?
Yeah.
Department of Revenue? Not the Department of Transportation? No, the Department of Revenue. Why? What's revenue? Money. That's right. Yeah. And when you lose your license, when you get the DWI, in order to go take the class, you have to satisfy the SATOP class with the Department of Revenue. See, they want their money. Wow. It's all about the money.
So if you're just tuning in, we're with DWI apologist.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Let me get you a 10.
Definitely a DWI expert. I mean, I've seen enough of them. I've seen so many crazy things. I seen a guy I seen a cop give 2 DWIs for one vehicle. 2 people in one car. Neither would admit to being the one that was driving. So he said, well, I'm going to need to give you a breathalyzer. And the first guy said, well, I'm not doing a breathalyzer. When you refuse to do a breathalyzer, you can get charged with what's called a refusal. And a refusal is a DWI. It's a DWI. It's called a chemical refusal DWI.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You sign when you get your license. You remember how they have you sign it? It's not for the cute little signature on your license. I mean, you're signing that, but that signature is your implied consent that you sign in over your kind of like you're saying that if I'm ever asked by an official in a uniform with a badge to do a breathalyzer or to perform any tests, that I will comply. And when you don't comply, now you've broken a contract.
Wow. Can you get a DWI on a skateboard?
I haven't seen one on a skateboard. I've seen one on a scooter.
Like a moped?
One of them green ones downtown St. Louis.
Like a bird? One of the bird ones?
Yeah.
Or lime?
Yeah, I've seen a guy get one on that. There's one. I've seen a guy get one on a tractor. I've seen a girl get one on a 4-wheeler on their family's property. She was riding a 4-wheeler and ended up breaking it, flipping it, and broke her wrist. And then they called ambulances out, had to come out because everybody had been drinking. They thought they'd made a smart move. They called an ambulance out to come get her, to take her to the hospital. But when you call an ambulance, who else shows up?
The police.
Yeah. They aren't showing up to help. I mean, in my opinion, they're showing up to recoup. they're showing up to recoup the amount of money it took to get the fire engine and the ambulance out there. They're recouping some of that money.
It is crazy how you almost have there's no upside to talking to the police.
Yeah, I mean, they're checking everybody. They show up at that house, they're checking everybody's plates, they're running IDs, and that girl ended up getting a DWI because she admitted that she was drinking while riding a four-wheeler. Yeah, she's in a hospital. She's at the hospital, and that's when he comes in and gives her, she got a DWI. They can take you to jail. They don't have to take you to jail sometimes. They can give you a DWI without taking you to jail, and that's what happened to her.
So she had to go to SATOP? Mm-hmm. Did you put her in the lowest offender status?
Well, I'm only allowed to put them in. I have to operate between a set of particular parameters based on the level of if they did a breathalyzer, how high it was, can determine whether they go into a higher or lower class. There's four levels, but also prior offenses and prior episodes of care. For instance, if you went to treatment like Bridgeway, like a residential treatment, for anybody who's listening who doesn't know Bridgeway, it's a residential treatment program. But if you did a residential treatment program and then later you get a DWI, well, that residential treatment is already considered a level 3 program. So I automatically, if you have a DWI, no matter what you could have a real low blood alcohol content. It could be your first DWI, but because you've had an episode of care at a level at the level of a level 3 program, I have to at least give you level 3 or higher. Mm. Yeah, her situation was a refusal, and but she had admitted to drinking while riding the thing somehow, or that she had been drinking. Because I think the cop had asked, "Have you guys been drinking?" Well, yeah, we all been drinking, whatever. And she had admitted to drinking. So because she had made that admission, but she refused to do a breathalyzer, they gave her a refusal.
Wow.
So I was able to give her a low level.
What's crazy too is I was just reading this. If you tell the perfect story that exonerates you when the police are questioning you, that is not admissible in court. But if you tell something that incriminates you, that is usable in court. Mm. So that then later in court, then they use that information to try to trip you up again. And if you tell a different story, now you're in trouble. So if your first story that exonerated you conflicted with your court testimony, now you could get in trouble for what you said. Mm. Which means even if you're innocent, there's zero upside to proving that in a police questioning. You're always better to say, I have nothing to say.
Yeah, you're better off never arguing with a cop either. I mean, because it's like you can't argue your case on the side of the road. It's just you're not going to do well in that situation. You're always better off shut your mouth, let them do what they're going to do. If they're going to take you to jail, let them take you to jail. Tell them you disagree, and then keep your mouth shut. Say, I don't comply with you guys searching my car. Let them know you disagree, but don't throw a fit trying to fight them when they're trying to search your car. Let them break the laws they need to break in order for you to win when it goes to court.
Well, for the girl in the hospital, this might be a stupid question, but if she had been sitting, wouldn't her blood alcohol level go up just from her sitting there versus when she was actually on the thing? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's probably safer for her to just refuse than to take it and then, or not. What do you think?
Once you refuse, you lose your license for a year.
Right.
In Missouri.
Yeah.
At the point of refusal.
Yeah, so they're going to punish you for that refusal. And they, before, there was a time when that wasn't necessarily the case, and now that is the case. Back in the day, people used to get 8, 9 DWIs. They'd refuse. They'd still, whatever. But today, it's like, if you refuse, you're going to lose your license. But you can get around that too. Either way you go, it's just going to cost you money. Mm-hmm. The DWI attorney in one county is the judge in another county.
Wow.
And St. Charles County is totally like that. St. Louis County is just like that too. The judges, the DWI attorneys in one county are the judges in other counties.
Wow.
And all these different little sections in Wentzville and St. Peter's. I mean, it's
what a racket.
And once you're in that system, you're like a ping pong ball. You're coming into their system.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay. Everybody's got their hand out.
The coolest thing though is being sober. You don't have to worry.
I was just thinking, I've never had a run-in with the cops being sober.
I have, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I will tell you this. I've never had a DWI even drinking because my family, it's in our lineage. We are excellent drunk drivers. No one's ever, I don't know any DWIs, but I did get pulled over once driving drunk. I was 20. The cop walks up to my car and he's like, how much have you had to drink? And if you lie to me, you're going to jail right now. I can smell the alcohol. And I'm like, all right, I have to make a business decision now. I had a couple. He's like, step out of the vehicle.
Everybody says they've had a couple.
Yeah.
Just
Everybody.
a few.
He gave me the field sobriety test and he's like, yeah, you failed. You're drunk. And he's like, where's the alcohol? And I'm like, it's in the trunk. He's like, how many beers do you have? And I said, I don't know. It's almost a whole case. I only drank a couple. He opens the cooler. There's like 2 beers in there. And he's like, you drank a lot more than you thought. Go sit on the curb. And he keeps coming back to me with little paraphernalia and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it was me and BT actually. What's really funny, he was sitting there with me. He's always like the co-conspirator in all my crimes. We'll have to get him on here one of these days. He listens to the podcast. But anyway, the cop was like, all right, listen, I'm not taking you to jail because I didn't pull you over because I thought you were drunk. I pulled you over because you have a loud muffler. Now get out of here. He's like, if you wreck, I'm going to come and find you and kill you. And the cop let me leave. I was 20 years old. I had a minor in possession, different paraphernalia, drunk, and he just let me go. And I drove home good because we're good drunk drivers.
Yeah.
I think it's the Irish.
I mean, I got sober because of my DWI. So, and I got court ordered into the SATOP program. I mean, now I know how to teach.
You're the ultimate peer specialist.
I got court ordered into the program. That's how I got sober. And then later on, I ended up working there. What I wonder, though, like with your situation is like, I wonder if a cop ever pulls someone over and they got so many things, they're just like, screw it. It's like, dude, it's almost like it's good to have broken like 17 laws because now it's like, oh my God, I'm going to have to write 17 different things on this guy.
His shift's almost over.
Forget it. Go home.
He did say, I don't want to ruin your life today. That's what the cop said to me. And he's like, what did he say? He said, and if I see you driving through here, I'll pull you over every single time. And next time you're getting a DWI, And so it was St. Charles County, but it's in West Alton, which is really far away from the police station. So I'm thinking he just didn't want to do all the paperwork and then drive me all the way there. And he probably had to come back to that area. I should find out who that guy was. There's probably no record of who he was.
Yeah.
But that would be... Hey,
it actually never happened.
Yeah, I made it up. I was hallucinating.
Yeah. But you never know. Maybe had he arrested you, that would have got you on the right track at an earlier age.
Maybe not.
Like, I mean, because I had my DWI. I'm like ready to go thank the cop who gave me the DWI.
That's so interesting, dude. Because it wasn't the only time I got out of something like that. I got out of those kind of things multiple times, and I really think back. Like, I think that God laid out a path for me where I had no one else to blame. Because I think I would have blamed the court system. It's the court. You can't just open a couple beers and go for a drive in the back roads.
It's America.
Yeah. Like, what's wrong with this country?
America.
You think my great-great-grandpappy died in the Civil War so that I couldn't drink and drive? If they had known this was going to happen, we'd have been better off with the British.
That's great.
No, but anyway. Well... So, but you don't want to go back to that life, say, Tom.
Yeah,
I think chapter's closed.
I don't know. I mean, I could, but I want to see what else comes my way, and I'm really also liking being unemployed right now. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. So,
wait till you're unhoused, bro.
It.
That's what you.
Yeah, no, I won't be there.
I don't like the constrictions of these walls around.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I chose homelessness.
Yeah, I'm free of everything. No, I do think there's a freedom in homelessness
There probably is, yeah.
Like, besides getting rained on and living under a tarp, it'd probably be pretty fun. Like, I've tried to help. This is why I don't really get to. I do think the homeless deserve mercy, but there's a lot of times I've tried to help a lot of homeless people, got them into places, and as soon as you stop helping them, they just go right back to being homeless. They don't even seem to care. Obviously, that's not 100% of the time, but in all my experiences, they preferred being homeless. And under the 370 bridge in St. Charles, it's like a party that never ends down there. Yeah. Like, they're having a good time. Until it gets to be winter. Then.
On Sunday when we were talking to your sister, the lady that's homeless, that lives off of like 5th Street, that like if you know about St. Charles, you know who I'm talking about. She's wearing a trench coat. Josh is the one that actually gave her that trench coat. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Shout out to Josh.
I'm like, that's iconic.
The one that, the younger female?
I mean, I don't know how young she is. She looks kind of like middle-aged.
She's been out there for a while?
She's been there. Yeah, for
everyone
a few years.
Wants to help her, and she's like, I want help. I'm good.
He offered food and a coat, and she's like, I don't want the food, but I'll take the coat. And she wears that coat. Or I haven't seen her in a while, but yeah. Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah. What do you think about like sober coaching? What do you think about that kind of thing?
Oh man, I have mixed feelings.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I've thought about trying to do it. Thought about getting into it. Here's a funny story about that though. Someone told me about sober coaching when I was newly sober, and I was probably about a year sober, and I posted an ad on Craigslist.
Always Craigslist.
Yeah, I was on Craigslist. I was out there on Craigslist. No, but I posted an ad.
You did everything on Craigslist.
Yeah, everything.
That's how we met.
Yeah, I met Ashlie on Craigslist. No, but I posted an ad to be a sober coach, and I was on my 10th step at the time.
You weren't even through
not
the
even
steps yet. No, but you weren't even on the one that says go help other people now.
But listen, this is what's crazy. So Paul was my sponsor, and he had me writing out what I did all day, every day. Write out every single thing you do all day long, no matter what it is, no matter how embarrassing. And it was funny to look back. He's like, okay, now let's sit down and we'll go over what you wrote on here. Like, there were some days that like called in sick to work, watched porn 5 times, like didn't do it, laid in bed all day. Like, what? He's reading is like, what? I don't even know this guy. One day it was like, got fired from my job, so posted an ad on Craigslist to be a sober coach. And Paul's like, dude, he said,
you should have told your sponsor you did that.
He said, dude, he looked me dead in the eye. He's like, dude, I want to cry right now. Like, I'm so, like, you're trying to sell sponsorship on Craigslist. Like, dude, we're going to be on this step for a little while longer. I'm like, well, when you put it like that, selling sponsorship. But I ran into someone recently that said they had a sober coach, someone that's pretty famous, honestly. And, but I said, do you still use them? And I'm like, no, man, it's kind of scummy to me. And I was actively thinking about it at the time. And he's like, it's like he's selling me sponsorship. Like, that's all he does. He's like a sponsor that I pay for when it's supposed to be free. And I asked him, like, is this something that you would do for someone that didn't have money? And the guy said, no, I'd send them to someone else. And he's like, you can't give something that was free. You can't charge for that. Mm-hmm. And that's where I think someone like myself or you, who has been trained clinically, would bring something different to a sober coaching situation. But at the same time, if all you're doing is AA, then I am really against that. But if you are using clinical tools, motivational interviewing, you know the ins and outs of treatment and different tools for coping and working through issues, then I think it's different.
You also brought up another point, like when we were having this conversation a while ago, like a sober coach wouldn't just be like a, hey, give me a call, it's more of like now I'm traveling with you, I'm like your companion now, but
that's a different thing too, though. There's sober companions and there's sober coaches, and they might overlap, but they are two different things. One is like a babysitter. They do have that too. They pay people to go on flights. I have friends that do this. you'll go on a flight. They'll pay you like $500 just to fly with someone to treatment. They'll fly you to the city, then you get on the plane with the person and then fly out there with them.
It's such a sketchy, all of it is just so sketchy. I don't know.
I like it. I think it's cool. I do. I think it's, if you're a mom and you want to make sure your kid got there and you have the resources, why not? You know, if you don't have anybody else to lean on and someone else has the tool set to help you get there, I don't see the issue.
For a loved one wanting a peace of mind.
Yeah.
I would just
know
want
that they made it from A to B without picking up or using or ODing in the freaking bathroom at the airport or something scary like that.
Yeah. Or like, okay, yeah, sponsorship is free. So why should you charge somebody to be their sober coach? Well, dude, I've been in the program. There's tons of sponsors out there that it's like, it might take you a couple months to realize that this person's completely insane and has no idea what they're talking about. And I think for anyone, especially new people, if you're getting a sponsor, you should probably just ask a couple other people about them. Like, there's no harm in saying, what do you think about my sponsor here, Jeff? Dude, Jeff's psychotic. Jeff has a different sobriety date every 3 days, and he's missing a hand because I don't know, like some crazy stuff out there. Like,
well, I always felt peer support was it's like, it's funny because peer support became a thing before we even knew what that person did for 8 hours a day. It was just like, here's funding for peer support. And then people just were like, okay, let's hire someone for peer support. And then they're like, what do? I don't know. But you're getting paid this much an hour now. You know, and they're doing peer support, right? And we just had to figure that out. Oh, what's peer support?
And now there's a class to become
we were
a peer
two of the
support.
now you got to take classes to get it, right? And to, you know, something that was kind of, I mean, in all honesty, it was kind of winged. I was winging it. I was peer support. I was winging it.
We were two of the first peer specialists in Missouri.
I had no idea what I was doing over there. But, you know, today I think about like peer support. I also think about like a sober coach is a very similar kind of thing in a way where like, like I would, if I was a sober coach, I wouldn't be sponsoring a guy, and I would probably work with men. So I say a guy. I probably wouldn't be sober coaching women. I just probably not. But I would give up some of my personal time. I would give up my current lifestyle of being unemployed and chilling out at home all day, right? So I'd be giving that up. I'd be sacrificing certain things in my life to spend a lot of time with one person to go through what we do on a day, every day, for maybe 2-3 weeks. Here's what we do. And we wake up and we go do this. We go to a meeting, right? But then we go do stuff. We go to work. We go do what we need to do. We go to the park and go for a walk. We chill out. We eat healthy food. We cook a meal. We read a little bit out of the book. And then we go to bed. And then the next day we go to a meeting. We get a sponsor at that meeting. And I would say, you need to pick one of these guys to be your sponsor. I would nudge them in the first 2-3 weeks of here's how you get this ball rolling and develop, was it 17 days you develop a routine maybe? I don't know. 3 weeks, would 3 weeks even be enough? I don't even know. I'm just like throwing mud at the wall. But it would be kind of like me showing a person, here's what you do. Here's what I do. Here's how I stay sober. It's not just me going to meetings and me hitting them over the head with all these different things about recovery. It would be, here's how you live a pretty normal looking life in recovery.
All right, before we jump back into the episode, let's give a shout out to the crew that keeps the Dank Recovery Podcast rolling, Asphalt Services, LLC. These guys do it all. Churches, HOAs, tennis courts, pickleball courts, general contracting, you name it, they can handle it. If it's asphalt, they've got you covered. And now they're taking it even further with their brand new concrete division. So whether you need asphalt or concrete, They've got the tools and the talent to get it done right. Driveways, parking lots, sidewalks, they'll take care of it. The 3 owners have over 100 years of combined experience. So if you're in the greater St. Louis area and you need something fixed, paved, coated, striped, or poured, call Mike at 636-293-9244 or go to asphalt-services.com and make sure you tell them the Dank Recovery Podcast sent you.
That's kind of what happens at sober living too. And that's a lot of winging it also.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like they're not paid people. Like the manager of the sober living is not like, unless you're paying for his rent, he's really not being paid to be there. He's probably paying rent to live there too. And they're just doing life together. Yeah. So then like if you have this sober companion, eventually they go away and you have to figure it out and you have to wear some big girl panties and figure life out.
But maybe by then, you've already kind of gotten yourself, and it would be based not on what Kevin likes to do. It wouldn't be based, what are Kevin's hobbies and get this person doing Kevin's hobbies. It would be like, I would be figuring out, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? And then I would get them doing those things. We'll start doing those things, incorporate them things into your routine. It's like you said with a sober house, it's like, they hire a house manager to be the example, the sober example of what to do. You want, someone you want running your sober house, you're going to want someone who's got their ship together.
That's what I tell the guys that are running my houses, that your main role above anything else, all the rules you could create, your number one role is just to model what healthy recovery looks like. That is your job in the house above all. And then, but you also had me thinking about like case management when we're learning how to be case managers and work with people. There's the saying, you do it for them, then you do it with them, then you do it by them. And so that's an idea that's went with me all through my recovery. Is I don't like the idea of my sponsees have to call me, and if they don't, then I'm kind of off the hook. It's like, no, at first I'll reach out to them because this person's sick. They don't have if they had good habits, I wouldn't need to sponsor them.
Yeah.
Right. They wouldn't be here.
And then at some point, hopefully we're calling each other. And then after a while, hopefully they've developed the habit now where they're reaching out. But that was kind of a shift for me too, is like the assumption in AA is this person is so spiritually sick that they are 100% going to relapse again. And so it's like, well, then why do some people end up calling their sponsors? I'm like, I don't know. I lived in sober living and the guys asked me every day, did you call your sponsor? So I had a reminder. If I had been at home alone, I probably would have never called a sponsor. If you got the idea of maybe going to jail, I don't know. There's a lot of factors outside of yourself of why you actually end up following the program. But if it's just left, if it's just left to a sick alcoholic, they're probably going to do the wrong thing. And actually, a guy we both know, Chris, I don't have to say his last name, he said, don't just write down your number, get their number. Mm-hmm. Get their number and call them. They're not going to call you. The only people who ever seem to call me off those packets are like severely mentally insane. I've never had like a mentally healthy person call me off a packet ever.
I've only had one lady call me off a packet, and it was like the highlight of my year. But I was thinking like people probably still call because they're spiritually sick. I got all these sick people calling my phone.
Yeah.
You go to treatment. And you go to treatment, like let's say you're in a place like St. Louis where you go to treatment at Bridgeway in St. Charles, which for anybody listening, if you live in, let's say you live in the city of St. Louis, but you're going to treatment at Bridgeway in St. Charles, that's a 30-minute drive. That's a 30-minute drive from St. Louis, right? So maybe you're going to treatment somewhere near your hometown and maybe it's 30 minutes or a 30-minute drive away. Maybe it's an hour drive away. So a lot of treatment centers are about an hour out of town, right? Mm-hmm. But then they take you to meetings. That's great. But then when you go back home. So you can't, so while you're in treatment, you can't really get a home group. I mean, you can sign up for some home group while you're in treatment, but now you're going to live 35, 45 minutes away from that home group.
Yeah.
You can't find you a sponsor when you're an hour away from home. You know, and I think that's the difference where, you know, peer support or that type of thing. It's like, I would take that person to a meeting near where they live. Let's take an individual, right? So when they come into treatment, it's not 14 people getting the same treatment. It's me there's a couple of these participants that live in a certain area. Well, we're going to meetings in that area. We're getting in the community that's in that, you know, the recovery community that's going on in that area where they live already. So now when they get out of treatment, they've already got a home group. They've already got a sponsor who lives right down the street from them. They're already plugged in. So we already got that ball rolling, where what we do now is we send them to treatment in Florida, and then we fly them back and we expect them to go get it all set up the way it was in Florida. But they have to do this on their own. And a lot of people don't take that extra initiative. You know, you got like bridging the gap out there, the gap. See, obviously there is a gap, bridging the gap. There's a gap between leaving treatment and going the next step forward into, you know, your sovereign recovery away from the treatment center.
And that's where a good treatment program is making sure that they don't skip that step. Like the good treatment programs that I've been a part of, they're making sure that you're getting connected with outpatient, or, you know, that you're going to be in sober living. And honestly, it's typically the person that's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm not doing any of that.
I don't think I really need that.
But it is a culture shock if you go to somewhere like Florida for treatment. The meetings there are so much different than they are here, that people are like, there's a energy and excitement there. Like everyone's like, and some of the meetings are huge, whereas here, well, at least in the St. Louis area, we're blessed. We have lots of meetings, but it's not the same level of excitement. You know, it's just not the same thing. So even that is a letdown when you come back. You're ready to do the same thing you've been doing.
It's the Florida sunshine.
Yeah, and you got palm trees and beautiful weather. You got the beach, but then you got to come back to reality in a roach-infested apartment with mom who's still drinking, and you know what I mean? I mean, you got to come back to the effed up situation that you left.
You got to get jumped out of the gang that you were in. So
just an honest life. And just because you got your act together, the rest of the world's still on its regular, you know, track right now. So when you come back, all those other things, they're still going the same way they were. In fact, the momentum, it's like the momentum, right? You got that momentum. You go to Florida, get your ship together, but that momentum you had going the wrong way, that momentum's still there. And when you come back home, it's real easy. You get swept right back up in that same momentum. You know, that old friend calls you, or that one person shows up, that frickin' stick you kept, that bag of sticks you kept up in the top ceiling of, you know, you had to lift the thing up and put them in there and then hide it so mom didn't find them. You didn't want to throw them away because you might be a diabetic later in life. Yeah. Those are still there. That might have happened once.
Dude, that's funny because somebody... Maybe I'll save that one for later. Actually, no. I asked people to share their stories about recovery.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is this girl actually commented on here. Oh, I'm going to read this now. Where is it? Oh, is this the one? It is. Me and my man were driving down the road. We were in the middle of going to stay at a motel because we lost our place to live due to addiction. And we were carrying hundreds and hundreds of used needles. We had so many because in the city they'd give us boxes of 100 clean needles at a time. Always afraid to throw them out in case we would ever need them. Because, you know, you use them repeatedly. I had a bunch that had all the numbers wore off and they would like break off inside your skin sometimes. Does that paint a trigger warning?
That sounds fun.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm sober with all the fun I was having out there.
Man, it was neat, wasn't it?
Let's see. Always afraid to throw them out. And I was like, I got to get rid of them. I got to throw them in the next empty field. And it was a grocery bag full. So I did. The next day, it was all over the news. They even thought maybe they were from a diabetic dropping them in the needle boxes. And it flew off a truck that emptied the drop boxes all along. I knew it was me. I didn't care about anything during addiction. I couldn't believe it made the news. I'm going to try to find the article and attach it. She actually attached the news article to the comment.
That's
about
definitely,
her. When I was using, I had what I called my bag of shame. And it started off as just this little, it was a gift bag, like a real little one. And I could throw some syringes in there, like, okay, I need to get rid of this. And then I got a bigger gift bag, and that filled up. By the end, there was a gift bag, like this big, like this tall, just completely stuffed to the brim with syringes. And I called it my bag of shame. And it's such like a weird metaphor for my actual, that's like, all my friends knew about the bag of shame. And it just kept growing and growing and growing. I'm like, what a metaphor for my addiction. Like carrying around this bag that just keeps getting heavier and heavier and more embarrassing. And what's even more crazy is like, there would be like empty pill capsules in there, and every once in a while I'd go through the whole entire bag, flicking every capsule, trying to get little specks of powder out of all of them. But you come home to a bag of shame, bags of needles, what are you going to do? That's why when I've brought people home from treatment, like sponsees and stuff, I'm like, let's get rid of all your stuff that you've had at the house. Let's just, this one dude, George. Oh man, I love George. Me too. I took him home from treatment. Like, dude, we got to get rid of all your paraphernalia. He's like, okay, dude. I wasn't aware of how some people lived. Like, there's an internet like black market for drugs that I guess I never got to know about while I was using, but George somehow knew. This dude had every kind of pill and oil and everything else, and he had it in every corner of his house. Like, we were going room to room to room in his house destroying drugs, and finally got to like the very end, and it was like these 3 bags of like THC wax. And I was like, I can't throw these away. I don't even smoke. I'm sober, but like, it'd be a waste to throw away this perfectly good stuff. I'm like, you know what? My brother-in-law spends tons of money on weed. I should just give it to him. So we should just give this away to somebody that still smokes. It would save my sister some money. And so I called my brother-in-law. He drove out there and met up with me and this dude. I gave him all this wax. He drove off. My sister calls me and went off on me. She's like, I hate when he smokes that. It's too pure and concentrated. Yeah, it's like he doesn't smoke it like regular weed. He smokes the whole thing all at once and like is just drooling on himself. I'm like, here's my good deed. Yeah. Now I've compromised myself to where I'm now doing a drug deal for free. But I'm doing a drug deal. My sister's mad at me, and this newcomer in the program just watched me take his drugs and give them to somebody else. And I'm like, this is why we got to take other people with us when we go out to do stuff like that, because had someone else been there with me. But I thought, we're just throwing away a couple pipes, I'll be fine. No, it was a 4-hour mission disposing of paraphernalia. But I do think they're like those old school movies where the sponsor comes to their house and helps them destroy stuff. Like, I've seen that on some movies. You don't really hear a lot about people doing that anymore, but I think that's something that people should do more often. Go to your house, get rid of everything, make sure it's going to be a place that you're not tempted. I try to keep my house free and clear of all drugs and alcohol. There was a speaker I heard though in the program who said, people ask like, well, what about if you're having guests? Don't you want to keep some alcohol handy for them? It's like, well, what if they shoot heroin? Should I keep some of that there too? Or maybe they might want to smoke a little crack. Should I keep a couple crack rocks?
Yeah, have them on the table, in fact.
Yeah, sat on the coffee table.
Like with their coffee table magazine.
I don't want to discriminate.
A bowl of Xanax pills just ready to go.
All different pills like Skittles.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah. Pick what you want. You can even mix a couple.
Yeah, go ahead. Google.
I was thinking of the SNL skit.
Oh, yeah. There's a SNL skit. It's like, it's Tizzle Whizzle time. And it's like a kid's show. But they're like, pills, all types of pills. Everyone must take at least one pill.
Pills, all types of pills. Everyone must take at least one pill. Gobble them, swallow them, eat them down. Don't spit them out because we'll know.
We sing that at our house a lot. Are you going to listen to that 2 times speed? Ashlie watches the podcast at double speed when she's rewatching it. Well, that's a good segue. What's been up with you? I know everything, but
Speaking of songs,
Yeah.
we've been doing homeschool and singing lots of songs about history and stuff.
sing us one of the songs. What is it?
In 800, during the medieval period, Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne, Holy Roman Emperor of Europe. I had no idea.
So now we can isolate that, turn it into a reel, and now people will know how Charlemagne became the Holy Roman Emperor of Europe. What's the other one though? Is it the 8 parts of speech where you start breaking it down?
8 parts of speech. 8 parts of speech.
Yeah, but Ashley's
Noun.
like this. She's saying like 8 parts of speech. It's like popping, hip hop dancing.
Are you making up these songs?
No, they're
or
real songs.
they come to.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
for the homeschool co-op.
Okay.
And we all learn them together in a community.
But Ashley's breaking it down. 8 parts of speech.
I mean, how can you not with that beat?
The sick beat in the homeschool curriculum.
There's like dance moves to go with some too. It's super fun.
How far are you in on the homeschool? How many? So just a couple weeks in now, right?
Yeah, so we'll be on week 3 for this school year, but we've been homeschooling for almost a year now.
How do you like it?
I love it. It's been really good. I feel like having the co-op that we do now has given me like structure, given our kids structure, and I don't know, it gives me some like oomph. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of difference is homeschooling given you compared to like sending them to like a public school?
We've done both.
Yeah. I mean, I know what they're learning. I know what they're doing. I know who they're hanging out with. So that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference. And I don't know. What do you think, Tim?
You know, I just think I always think back on myself. There's kids like me that aren't being parented. Well, I don't know. That might make my mother upset, but you know, there's kids that are more feral out there running around, and it's like I have an expectation that my kids are around other kids that are being intentionally parented, that they're not being exposed to things that I don't want my kids to see or learn about. So, and the other thing is like, you think about it, there's 24 hours in a day. Your kid goes to school for 8 hours. These people that are strangers are who they're spending the majority of their time with. It's like these years are short, you know? And then even from their cousins, they learn all this like brain rot stuff that like the kids are doing. Like I hear about stuff that I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like, Cadence, what do that Cadence is my 14-year-old niece. I'm like, what do kids say in middle school now? And she's like, everyone just walks around all day saying 6'7", 6'7".
Apparently,
Braden, you heard of this? 6'7". Braden's younger than us. 6'7". I'm like, what? She's like, all day long.
And they're like cackling as she's explaining it. I mean, you look
They're
kind of
all
funny
like,
doing that though.
6'7", like you know, 6 or 7.
No, I don't know.
I'm like, what? There's another one. What is it? Mr. Krabs. Start digging in your
Butt twin.
Start digging in your butt, twin.
They're past the skibbity,
Bro,
and stuff like that. I
Don't
don't know what
ask
that
me.
is.
Braden, have you heard of this one?
Start
Braden
digging
says
in your
he's-
butt,
I'm
twin.
trying to look up the 6'7" one. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make
doesn't.
any sense. But like, they call it brain rot, and there's like these little viral things that kids say.
But you know, when I was in high school, there was like Charlie the Unicorn. Have you heard of this? Candy Mountain, Charlie. Somebody knows what I'm talking
I know what
about.
Charlie. Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen it.
And like I watched it now, it's so stupid. It's not funny. But back then, when I was a kid, me and my cousins were laughing hardcore.
We had
over that.
American Pie. We had Dave Chappelle. I'm Rick James. That's what we had.
Yeah.
That was our, and
slim
that made
pickings.
sense. 6'7". Yeah, but I was watching one of my friends' Facebook video, and they're like, Mr. Crab, or she says to her daughter, she's like, stop digging in your ass, twin. And I'm like, that's kind of a off the wall comment. But then I found out that it's like something that kids are saying constantly to each other at school because of some edited SpongeBob clip. So
Silly.
anyway, even without wanting my kids exposed to certain things. It's inevitable, but it's limited in how much.
Well, and also like Trey is 4, almost. He's almost 4, but he's a boy and he didn't want to sit still. And I mean, either does Gracie. She's 9. She doesn't want to sit still, and like they don't really have to. You know, like we don't just sit in a chair and do like paperwork all day. You know, like we get to have fun and play games and learn that way. And it's like building a connection that otherwise me and her would not have. I know for a fact we wouldn't. And there was also this like, we have to wake up at like get them out the door at 7 a.m. I don't even want to wake up that early. And now we're waking up all of our kids to do that and hurry up and go to school. And then I'm just sitting there. And that's how it was. Like, hurry up, go to school. Hopefully you had time to eat breakfast. And if not, like, we're just apart all day now. And it just really crappy, you know?
And you say, you know, not only they're away from you for 8 hours, but they're away for the 8 quality hours you have in a day, probably. You know, the 8 best hours that you have, you know, energetically, emotionally. You know, after 8 hours of working and 8 hours of, you know, doing some stressful activity, you're tired, you know, in the evening. So the time you do get to spend with your kids after they've been in school all day and you've been at work all day, then you get home and now you and your kids are both like depleted.
Right.
You're already angry. You know?
That's true.
Eating dinner and then hurrying up and going to bed.
To do it all over again.
To do it all over again, yeah. And you're missing out on... that's probably where the key stuff, the most learning probably takes place. And I don't mean the learning like the history. I mean the learning about life and how things operate. Yeah. I think, I don't know. It seems like a good idea.
And there's some mean kids at school, man.
Yeah, people do
and
all
they
sorts
come
of
home,
wacky stuff. Slap you in the back of the head and stuff.
Well, that happens at home with our kids.
I was a kid getting hit in the back of the head, man.
At homeschool.
Oh, yeah? No, not at homeschool. There's some mean kids at homeschool, too.
There's a bully at the homeschool.
Straight up.
Is there a
Nora. I'm just kidding.
one of them's a bully at the homeschool.
Yeah.
They're siblings, so they're already building relationships with like socializing. Like we're not really worried about that, and we don't
do a co-op.
Yeah,
So
and
they go and do stuff.
Yeah, there were a couple people. Yeah, and don't think I forgot who the hell you are. And I don't know if you noticed, I'm in pretty good shape. Just so you know, they're out there, Tim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Them old bullies, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Are you
Come
the
see
bully
me.
or are they the bully?
They were the bullies. Okay. I got bullied a little bit.
I did too. I got bullied.
And I was a good kid too, and I got bullied a little bit, man.
I was a good bad kid or a bad good kid. I don't know. I had a sweet heart as a young man.
Yeah.
Aw,
and I would get bullied. And in high school, when I would see people,
Tim.
when I saw people get bullied in high school, though, I would go and get in the bully's face.
Yeah.
And because I cannot stand to see people getting bullied. I just can't. I really can't.
Yeah, I was a little kid. See, I was small. I was thin, little, and man, I got picked on by some bigger kids. Man, I don't know. You know, the thought of revenge sounds really good sometimes. Just kidding.
Yeah.
They were on your 4th step.
I know, right? No, this isn't a 6 and 7 step.
These are justified vengeance scenarios.
Yeah, this is being Tim's comeback right here.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, it's time. The tables have turned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've been hitting
welcome
the gym.
Welcome to Say-Top. I'm recommending prison.
Yeah.
This is a Wendy's.
Oh, this is your first DWI.
Violated.
Yeah, level 4.
Convict.
Oh my gosh. And that's what's going on in the police system too.
Yeah, you're going to level 4 idiot program.
Worst offender.
The worst offender idiot program. YSOP.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Just making shit up.
You should go help them. Like, oh, Kevin, did you hear the podcast? Kevin came up with another level to put these guys in. It costs more too.
Yeah, they'd love it.
Yeah, let's do it. What else has been up with Ashlie in Ashley's world?
Just seething in resentment.
Have you? I know you have been.
No, I really
How
haven't.
many meetings you go to this week?
I didn't go to any.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
You spoke at one.
Oh yeah. I don't remember. I didn't go to
within
two.
the last
I don't-
7 days, you went to the one I spoke at, and you
Oh
spoke
yeah,
at one.
you're right.
You're like, none. What are you trying to be cool?
Oh, I just
We're
didn't
trying to be a
remember.
good example.
I'm
for
sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Got to downplay it. I don't need all that.
Well, one cool thing about homeschool is I don't really have to look at clocks or know what day it is.
So
So
you're
I
at the
don't know.
casino all day.
Yeah, no. I guess I try to go to a meeting every week. I don't have a home group either.
Did you call your sponsor this week?
I didn't. I need to call her.
You didn't. You said you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Did you call your sponsor? Mandatory Monday? What
Yeah,
day
my
is it?
sponsor and I have mandatory Monday. I call him every single Monday, except when I don't. We have what's called Tim Tuesday. It happens very frequently where I make up my Monday call on a Tuesday. Then we've developed wavering Wednesdays. Like, man, Tim must be really busy this week. Didn't remember to call for a whole 3 days. We
Tapped out Thursday. It's
We call
like
it-
it ain't even happening now. Forget about it Friday.
That-
Shut up. It's the weekend,
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday. Back to Monday, you call. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. we call it Thirsty Thursday. Like, you're probably getting thirsty at this point. Even though I'm not, but it's a
Yeah.
joke. But it is actually Forget About It Friday.
Forget
That's
about
what we
it
call
Friday.
it. We've made it there, I think, once. He's been my sponsor for about 4 or 5 years, but I'm pretty consistently Monday morning on my way to get coffee, knock that conversation out. But I really like having mandatory Monday because if you're not current with a sponsor, it's easy to go a few, like when you have years of sobriety, it's easy to go a few weeks and just lose touch altogether, but
Absolutely.
mandatory Monday. And he's really good about, just, it's like a quick checkup, man. I just want to hear your voice. You sound good. You sound like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, like, hey, Tim, you don't sound okay. What's going on? Like, you can just tell by the sound of my voice. We don't need to talk for an hour, Well, how are you doing with that thing you're supposed to take care of? And it honestly keeps a lot of things at the forefront. He asks me how many meetings I've been to, and I'm typically like, none lately. But, he's like, you need to go to a meeting and don't go to the ones that you're speaking at only. That can't be the only ones you go to. Now, I like that he asked me that because it reminds me to think about where I'm connecting with other people that I need to be connecting with, because the problem if you're not hitting meetings is that you might become isolated. And the problem is at some point I buy, sell, and manufacture my own BS, and the blinders are on and I can't see my blind spots. And it's good to have other men around me that have permission to speak into my life and say, hey, just tell me the truth. Even if I think they're wrong, I appreciate the fact that I'm now reflecting on something I might not have thought about, So yeah,
That's true. That's good.
we do mandatory Monday, and I do my guys call me on Mondays too. And when they got years of sobriety, they don't need to call me every day. But we want to make sure that I know what's going on with them. They know what's going on with me.
Yep.
Which I got
good.
a lot going on right now. I love this. This is a lot of fun doing the podcast.
This is great.
I wish, I've been getting some feedback. People have been liking some of the episodes. It's been growing a lot, getting a lot of views. The one thing I would like is just more people sending messages. Like, if you're listening, what are you thinking so far? Do you like it? Are you enjoying it? What do you like? What do you not like? Give us some feedback. I just like to hear, just out of genuine curiosity.
Yeah. I love getting messages. I love interacting with people who watched it and hearing what they thought. And I mean, it could be constructive. It doesn't have to just be all positive. If you disagree or you think we should do something different, or you got an idea, I want to hear it. I want to hear it all. I think so many people, obviously I'm getting lots of views on the shorts, at least, especially, but the videos on YouTube are getting lots of views. And I know you're getting them on Instagram. I'm getting them on Instagram. I just want, I would love to have some feedback.
Yeah.
What do you think about these things? I get a lot of thumbs up and hearts. Those are great. That's awesome. But I'd really like to interact. I want some words.
Yeah. That's always, I like when people I got some hate mail for the podcast.
Did you? What'd that say? I'd love. Yeah. Now I'm really
You never
intrigued.
shared that with me. What?
I think I did. It was a couple weeks ago, but
It's tough.
So in the very first episode, I was talking about
remember.
Instagram targeting me, and I said they'll let like Arabic leaders threaten war on social media and not take them off the air, but they'll remove my stuff for memes. And he said, you need to delete that. You need to remove the episode, and you don't have any idea what you're talking about, and that's racist. And I'm like, I honestly thought that isn't really how I meant to say it, the way I said it in there. Cause like it's interesting when you're on a podcast and you're talking and you're being recorded, you don't really have the opportunity to just like delete what you said and then retype. It just kind of, the stream of thought as you're talking just is there. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not apologizing. I refuse to. And the guy he ended up unfriending me and block. He was another meme page guy, and then I guess he read it as like I was picking a side in what's happening in the Middle East. And I'm like, it really had nothing to do with that. It's literally about what's the most extreme thing you could say, a threat of war, and like what's something petty to remove someone over, which is just sharing my experiences using drugs and alcohol. Which, by the way, I don't know what has happened on Instagram lately, but either I'm being mass reported or the algorithm's attacking the page on Instagram. But they took down like 37 posts in the last week. And every time I log in, like every day, a message pops up that's like, are you okay? Someone thinks that you might be struggling with thoughts of self-harm.
It's so funny because we were just talking about that with Matt. Like, are you okay, Tim? And now Instagram is doing that to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dear Lord, dude. So I'm trying to get some journalists to help me write an article about how I'm being stigmatized by social media for sharing my lived experience as a person in long-term recovery who struggled with a use disorder. Don't silence my people. Our experiences are real. We deserve to be heard.
Yeah.
But I made a meme that said,
Well, it could be recovery fatigue. People are getting sick of hearing it.
yeah,
People are sick of hearing it. There's a lot of recovery fatigue going on. People are tired of hearing our stories, man. They're tired of hearing
I posted a meme that said, I heard Joe Biden is forgiving student loan debt. I used my student loans to buy drugs. So thank you, Joe Biden, for forgiving my heroin debt. And they took that down and said I was promoting drug use.
Oh my God, sense of humor.
And I'm like, dude, and I can't go live on Instagram for a year now. So I think I'm going to go back and delete every meme I've ever posted. And then
When I invite collaborators, boom, they pop up, and then other times you invite, it's like, no. You start typing it out. It takes a long time before certain ones come up.
do you have to type out the whole word, Dank
I
Recovery?
had to type yesterday. I had to type the last one I put up there on Facebook. I put it up on Instagram, but when I invite collaborators, I had to type out Dank Recovery, and then Dank Recovery Podcast.
Yeah.
I was at like recover when it popped up. It took that long. I was like, that's weird.
That's how you know you've been shadow banned. You have to type the entire thing out.
Yeah.
So they're probably close to trying to remove the page altogether.
Yeah. It'd be nice, a disclaimer, at least for me, I'm going to contradict myself all the time. It's like I do that all the time. Like I kind of consider myself very open-minded to a point where I can see both sides of just about anything. So one day I feel one way, one day I feel another. You catch me on the right day, I may agree with one thing or agree with another. One thing I definitely think about the podcast is we're not political at all. So if you hear anything you think's political, or if you think it's leaning one way or another, it's like, man, we are here to talk about recovery and the funny stuff that goes on in recovery. There's no I don't know. I just don't feel any of that. So like when you made a statement like that, it's like a stand-up comedian making a joke. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
That's as far as, because I don't even remember you saying it.
It was just such a,
Yeah.
he said, I really wanted to like your podcast, and then you said that. And I said, well, it's going to get a lot worse for you from here, bud.
Yeah,
So
well,
you
look
probably-
out. Get
I'm
ready.
bound to- This isn't meant to be a HR.
Well, good we lost them at
podcast.
1 and not the 19th one.
Yeah. Well, that looks like enough time from us for this week, right, Braden? So many good things we forgot to touch on, though. Braden got engaged this week.
Yay!
Yeah, right on, Braden. Yeah, that's
In Greece.
fantastic.
Man, that's cool. So we need to get a mic on Braden at some point so he can jump on here. But
Yeah, he's got an ornament.
congrats on that, brother.
Brought an ornament back.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it.
Is that filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're so happy for you, dude. It's been a long time coming, but that's awesome, brother.
Yeah, they still don't know what I look like, but at least they can hear my voice a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, you look like Channing Tatum with more abs.
He's really sharp.
More
Yeah,
abs.
there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a young
Yeah, he's a very sharp guy. There's no doubt.
yeah.
Olivia, so sweet.
Oh yeah, she's great. She's the best. I couldn't be happier.
Okay, that's all for today's episode of the Dank Recovery Podcast. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Kevin and Ashley for being with us today. If you've got a story you'd like to share or just need someone to talk to, shoot us an email, timothy@dankrecovery.com. Also, feel free to share some of your crazy addiction and recovery stories with us. And make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at Dank Recovery Podcast so you don't miss out on anything. And next week, Billy, a.k.a. the Spiritual Malady, will be joining us again. So make sure to tune in and check that episode out. And as always, happy birthday to all the birthdays and welcome to all the newcomers. See you next week.